From 2014, laws that are not well directed and efficient can be silly and counterproductive. One wonders why they were ever needed and what they achieved. On this day in 1984, homosexuality was declared legal in New South Wales. It seems an outrageous invasion of privacy that it had not been. Note, it wasn't declared mandatory. It is something consenting adults can do, or, thanks to Australian Labor Party government regulations, consenting children. Still, gay children are unlikely to become teen moms, so it becomes apparent that the ALP have put some thought into their legislation. For New South Wales, the age of consent is 16, but in enlightened ACT, it can be 11 under certain circumstances. On this day in 1953, the U.S. Supreme Court declared it illegal to refuse to serve black patrons in restaurants in Washington, D.C. It is difficult to understand the restraint behind the declaration. Apparently, it is illegal to lynch bigots. What about outside D.C., Supreme Court? If someone won't serve black people, I don't wish that they profit. On this day in 1949, George Orwell's 1984 was published, but also the FBI named Helen Keller as being a communist. Keller can be forgiven for her activism. She was deaf and blind. Orwell had no excuse. Keller could not see or hear what communists were doing around the world. Orwell was excusing it. George Pell was born on this day. I like him. He serves God. It is nice to devote oneself to organization and order. But as the Vikings showed at Lindisfarne on this day in 793, order can be upset by the use of force. It had been the first of many Viking incursions on English soil. Interesting, according to legend, Rollo, brother of the raiding chief, was an ancestor of today's Queen of England. Rollo was also sieging Paris in 885. Royal longevity. In 1789, on this day, James Madison presented what is now known as the Bill of Rights, allowing the Supreme Court to act in 1953. But 5 years later, Robespierre introduced to France the cult of the Supreme Being, a state-approved religion. He had never read Marx, so the FBI would have classified him as socialist, but he was deaf and blind to reason. That's it for the day. I don't see anyone else here, so if you come across this video at another time and you like it, Also, feel free to comment and share. Spread the love. Be well.